Ojara and Mapenduzi has raised a very important issue in Parliament, something that should have been the next stage, or should be, and I believe will be, a future or next stage of Acholi activism, or cry or demand to the government, compensation of war sufferings. He specified one thing: the compensation of the landowners whose lands were used for camp. Before we say anything, because there are other things we believe that should also come in, check out what Ojara Mapenduzi said.
Yes, Honorable Mapenduzi.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. The clarification I seek, Right Honorable Speaker, is in relation to the part where the chair of the committee talked about compensation for ranchers and kingdoms. Right Honorable Speaker, you are aware between 1996 and 2006.
What?
You are aware between 1996 and 2006 there were several hundreds of IDP camps that were established in Acholi, Lao, and later on in Teso. Right Honorable Speaker, at the time of return and resettlement, the owners of these lands where the IDP camps were established were promised by government that they would be compensated as their land had been terribly depleted or degraded. And government made this commitment, and it's now almost 10 years down the road when no mention is made about this. The clarification I would like to seek is whether the Honorable Minister is aware, and whether there is any plan for the ministry to put into action this commitment that was made by the President. Thank you.
The concerns raised by Ojara Mapenduzi about unfulfilled government promises highlight a much bigger issue stemming from the Lord's Resistance Army insurgency led by Joseph Kony. Compensation should not be limited to landowners whose land was used for camps. The impact of the war was widespread and affected nearly every aspect of life in Acholi. First, government should compensate people who were forcibly displaced into IDP camps. These citizens lost years of productivity, lived in harsh conditions, and suffered deaths and diseases. Compensation for this forced displacement is justified. Second, there should be compensation for loss of property and livestock. Many families lost cattle, homes, and food stores, which destroyed their economic foundation. It is being talked about, but the goodwill is questionable. People like Dr. Otto and Dr. Olanya can be utilizing to lead this. For example, it was Olanya who blew the whistle of some people who were deceiving people into signing forms that they've received their animals. Third, government must address land conflicts and resettlement challenges. After leaving camps, many people return to disputed or encroached land. Supporting land demarcation and legal resolution is essential. This can be done by fronting alternative dispute resolutions like the ones what Casimiro Ngom is doing. Fourth, there is a need for psychological rehabilitation. Survivors, former abductees, and child soldiers continue to suffer trauma. Mental health services and community healing programs are necessary. Fifth, war victims with disabilities should receive direct support, including medical care, assistive devices, and financial compensation. Sixth, government should address the education gap caused by the war by supporting those who missed schooling through scholarships, adult education, and skills training. There is need for more scholarships and also giving jobs to those who have completed schools, who are many, by the way, so that inclusion is guaranteed. Seven, there must be official recognition and justice, acknowledging the suffering of victims and implementing transitional justice mechanism is critical for national healing. Finally, continued investment in infrastructure such as roads, schools, and health facilities is needed to fully rehabilitate war-affected regions. This is why Norbert Mao's talks must not be ignored. The biggest test to Museveni's legacy is what he will do to tribalism and the disunity in Uganda. It should be tackled through constitutional reforms, proper enforcement, and dialogues. In conclusion, compensation for land is important, but it is only one part of a broader responsibility. Government should adopt a comprehensive approach that includes compensation, rehabilitation, and long-term development for all those affected by the war. Just imagine if the likes of General Tumukunde could be coming to attend prayers for Olanya massacre, prayers for Acholi memorial. Imagine that type of future. Don't you think it would be good?